Returning to bearing 35 degrees east. Let's get back to the fatherland.
The Luftwaffe being able to bomb the American East Coast in World War II is a pretty scary scenario. But the truth is that even if the Nazis had had several dozen or a couple hundred of these intercontinental bombers, it wouldn't have been enough to stop the American military-industrial complex. America would have still drowned the Axis in an ocean of manufactured military hardware. The Allies spent years bombing Germany, sometimes with as many as 1,000 bombers in a single day, and it still took years to soften the country up enough for an invasion. Even a couple hundred Amerikabombers attacking the American East Coast wouldn't have been able to turn the tide of the war, especially considering that conducting a surprise attack on the East Coast like what's depicted in this video would have only worked once. America would have had fighters on standby starting the next day to prevent this from ever happening again. And there's no way the Amerikabombers could have ever had fighter escorts with them over the American coast, so the German bombers wouldn't have survived subsequent missions. That being said, there is one other scenario that might have changed all that. Most people don't know that nuclear fission was discovered in Berlin in 1938 by German scientists. If that discovery had been kept a secret, and Germany's nuclear weapons program had been given maximum resources like the American Manhattan Project, maybe Germany could have had dozens or hundreds of fission bombs by late 1941 or 42. And then a one-time surprise aerial attack might have looked very different than what we saw earlier in this video. If America's eastern population and manufacturing centers had been hit with several dozen A-bombs right at the start of the war, that very well might have changed the outcome of World War II. I think all of mankind can be glad that the Nazis weren't able to develop either intercontinental bombers or nuclear weapons.